gon' talk. Tamaya gon' talk about Tamaya.
Hello. Welcome to the Tamaya Show. Today we're going to be talking about depression. Depression is an important topic. It's something that everybody's had to deal with either by themselves or as a family. I think it's something that goes unspoken of, unseen, largely unheard. But today I want to address it, and I want to address it hands on. Why are you down? Why are you sad? Why are you depressed? I do believe in a lot of things. I do believe that genetics does play a part. I do believe that some people have it in their bloodline. I think grandma was depressed, mom was depressed, you're depressed, right? I do believe some people, they're a victim of circumstances, a product of your environment. You knew somebody, a coach, a teacher, a friend, a student, somebody that you were in close proximity with an extended amount of time for an extended amount of time, and you talk to these people enough for it to influence your behavior. So now your behavior has changed. So you, just like children start to act like parents and players start to act like coaches, you start to emulate these behaviors, and you have inherited this behavior. Whatever it is, wherever you got your sadness from. I'm not here to judge, but I've seen a lot of things over the years. I think for me and my family, it's one of those things that started, and I don't know who started it, but I do know that both my mother and father, I've seen signs of depression. I think, with anybody using drugs, hardcore drugs, I do believe that is a coping mechanism for something, not to judge or put anybody in a box, because I've done my own fair share of whatever. But at the end of the day, I do think, what are you running from? So you're constantly forcing yourself to feel good. You're constantly saying to yourself, I'm going to ignore what life really feels like, and I'm going to feel great. That is a mental health crisis. You're sad. You're hurt. You're depressed. If you felt good, you shouldn't need anything to feel good. You don't feel good, and you need something to normalize and equalize and level you out. That's a part of the depression. So coming from a family where people would use substances, or they would use goals and money and achievements, or they would use notoriety and fame, or whatever they would use, you can just still see the depression, because what it is it's like a weight. Everybody has no weights and they're still running. It's heavy. You jump in a pool, you get out, you're still wet. But a person with depression is carrying 50 pounds and then jumping. You could have killed yourself. You shouldn't be going in any pool with weights on you. So that's the problem. You're jumping in with weights. You're depressed. You're sad. You're down. Coming up with a mother suffering from depression, and would totally took me to the doctor appointment with the doctor prescribing the Prozac. Cheryl, I just don't think you need this. I mean, sitting in there, I just felt like, should I be in here? This is getting deep. He's saying no. I believe no too. And then we were going to church. So is this one big game? There's a lot of levels, but somebody, I do respect people saying I need a little bit more help. And I respect the 30 million to 75 million people on prescription medications trying to get some help to regulate your mind, to help you do what you need to do. I respect it. And my own mother went to get some pills and, doing drinking and driving and doing drugs at the same time. But still, you went to go get some prescription medication, which means, hey, my sadness is bigger than this world, and I need a little bit more help than what God can do. I think it's interesting. So for me, seeing my mother go through that, then my dad coming in, having a wife, doing drugs, having 2 daughters, working for, the government. That's hard, because instead of coming home, especially the first 5-6 years, he's coming home, closing the door. Just, that's all he could do. So he probably didn't realize how many years he missed, but it was a lot. So at the end of the day, how would you feel? You got 2 kids with a lady letting go and giving it up. Well, that's not a fun feeling if you're the team captain. Hey, does anybody want to get it together? Can we all be on a team? I'm in, Dad. And we're missing the key star. This is our Dwayne Wade. I'm a Dwayne Wade fan. I am. And when Miami beat the Lakers, I felt like, wow, that's a big one, and I felt everybody underestimated Dwayne Wade. A lot of disrespect. You shouldn't be disrespecting anybody. And I do believe what Dwayne Wade has done as far as the representation of the protection of his daughter, Zaya Wade, I do think people need to respect it. You don't have to agree. Agreement is not what you need to be doing, but you need to respect that he's saying, whatever my daughter wants to do, I'm here for it. I think we all should have gave a round of applause for that. Acceptance is the best thing you could do for anybody, especially your children. Back to the episode. depression. So seeing my dad coming in and out and kind of skipping, hanging out with me and not talking. Of course, I told you on some other episodes, I used to go outside with the boys, but that was for real. Then the boys used to come out inside and that was for real. See, if you're not listening, you're not going to get it. Yeah, the parents are there, but they're so hurt. They got to pay the bills. You got to pay the mortgage. You got car notes. Your life's not a game for you, right? So you have a lot of pressure and stress. You're like, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to keep all this. She didn't just got the car impounded. Children don't understand that, but I did. So I learned to just stay away, stay isolated, stay by myself. But then I formulated my own little special form of depression, but I acted like it was God talking to me, but it was really just myself. So that's a form of depression, thinking it's like a God complex. You feel you are God, giving yourself all the wrong answers. If it was God, why ain't it working? I'll say it again. That's the truth. His yoke is easy and his burden is light. His yoke is easy and his burden is light. If it's hard and it's heavy, it is not God. Okay, back to it. Depression. Coming from it, experiencing it, also studying it, went to school, got a degree in human services, concentration in persons with disabilities, and specifically took some extra time to really understand depression. Having, I feel, almost a whole family involved in it. What the main problem is, you're overlooking so much because you're just barely trying to survive that you're not seeing what's right in front of you and you're missing it. There's just things that are in plain sight and you're like, I don't see it. I need you to see it. I need you to get up and I need you to get back in the game. I think for me, I wasn't in the game. To people watching the show, they're wondering, am I going to turn the corner? What's the show? The show is this. I was worse than depression. I had to, like I said, jump up and touch the bottom. Couldn't get up, had no strength, had no energy, lost my faith, lost my way. But depression is also understanding that if that's your truth, you don't have to pretend like it's not and say, I'm happy, I'm great. Just say, hey, not only is it bad, it's sad, it's horrible, it's done. But if you can find a team of people, any of us, to find a team of people who can say they can lift me up, pull me up out of this. I'll give you guys anything to pull me out of this depression. I think I tried to pull my mom out of it. I didn't get her out. See what I'm saying? So I took that as a loss, 0 for 1. And then my dad, I think I got him out. So I'm 1 for 2. Grandma, I got her out. You see, so yeah, I'm 2 for 3. And then grandpa, so again, mom was only 1. And I'm only saying that because she ended up overdosing and dying. But if she would have lived, would I have felt I pulled her out? Probably. So the depression comes from, and I always say this to everybody and they skip it. When you lose your mother young, you lose a big part of yourself. It's like your center. So imagine living your life without your center. Yeah, you're there. Yeah, you're a person and you keep going because dads are awesome. But what are you without a core? Somebody who's your foundation. It's no foundation. That's a good title. No foundation. So talking about who are you? Depression is this. Not knowing who you are, not knowing your purpose. That's always the devil's plan. You need to know who you are. You need to know what you're here for. You need to know what you're good at and how you're going to make an impact. So that's my job, to come and tell people, to wake people up. Okay. How to come up out of it. I really didn't do it by myself. I have a team of people behind me every single day that contact me. Okay, this is good and this is bad. Okay, I'm on it. I'll change it. Next. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, for supporting. This was a big episode for me to talk about it, especially some of you guys who know me. Yeah, I've talked to you guys privately, but to tell my fan base, audience, people who've met me, who never knew me. I've worked at a school district for 3-4 years. I ain't never said, girl, I'm depressed. Yeah, I just been feeling sad. Don't want to get up. Don't want to do nothing at all. Ever. Never said it. So the point is that's good, because nobody needed to know. No, that's my private life. Yeah, sure. Hell yeah. Depressed as hell. But I still got things to do. You know what I mean? I can't stop what I got going on. But it is a feeling I have when I have time to have it. But you got to live. You know what I'm saying? You still got to learn. You still got to trust your friends. You still got to ask for help. You still got to find support. You still got to find ways to enjoy yourself, to find hobbies, to find outlets, to let that go. And I told those people, I said, Mom, the needle was not it. So look what it did to it. Now we lost the car. Couldn't have been the plan. See, you have to talk to people right where they're at. What is it? It's not depression. It's a coping mechanism. You don't have to drink your way. You don't have to have sex your way. You don't have to do drugs your way. You can just say hey, God, Lord, I need some help. That's what I did. I pray for people. I pray for friends. I pray for people to come help me, give me hobbies, give me a connection that'll help change my life. I think this show is a big part of it because I've been talking to you guys. You guys have been talking to me. I'm like, oh, good. Are we hitting on it? Are we getting close? Am I keeping it real? Am I not? I need to stop listening, but I'm trying to get closer. And talking about depression is good for me because it's just letting everybody know this. If over 30 to 50 million people suffer with it, and I'm telling you, I had in-home personal close experiences, it has to be real. And for me, seeing my dad come out of it, but be in it and seeing me come out of it, I just thank you to my friends, to my family, for those who saw that, who saw the struggle, like, girl, you right there, but not really. But to say, hey, we're going to stick with you. We're going to believe in you. We know you could do a show. We know that we need to be listening, and we support you all the way. Thank you.
We gon' talk about it. Tamaya. We gon' talk about it. Tamaya. We gon' talk.